let's go back ringside. Tim Ryan and Gil Clancy. Tim?
Thank you, Barry. And Al, we've got the WBO Junior Featherweight Championship at stake next. It is a vacant crown relinquished by Marco Antonio Barrero when he moved up in weight, and how impressively he did against the Princess Im, as most boxing fans know. But his crown is available, and it'll be decided between Jorge Pabon Monsalvo or Agapito Sanchez. Monsalvo is from Barranquilla, Colombia, and Sanchez is from La Victoria in Santo Domingo. Now, Gil, you know a little bit about Barranquilla, Colombia, because you had the great Rodrigo Valdez, middleweight champion of the world. That is a fighting hotbed in that country.
It certainly is. They, you know, like when we go to the beach, we lay in the sun, we throw a ball around. Down in Colombia, they make a circle. It's unbelievable. They make a big circle, and they face each other. One guy points to another guy. They walk in the center of the circle, pick up the boxing gloves with sand all over them, and beat the heck out of each other. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
Well, that's one way to get started in the sport and create terrific competition. And, of course, they've turned out some outstanding fighters, and the latest is Jorge Pabon Monsalvo. His opponent, Agapito Sanchez, is ranked number 4 in the world. Very well-regarded professional. He's only had one title fight, and it happened to be against Marco Antonio Barrera. He lost over 12 rounds for the crown that he's now getting a second chance at. Agapito Sanchez, 31 years old. He's an old pro for a small weight, 121 pounds he came in at, 1 pound under the junior feather limit. And Jorge Pabon Monsalvo came in at 123. They gave him an hour to take the pound off to make the required weight, and he did so. He brings in a record of 29-1 with 24 knockouts. The number 1 ranked junior featherweight by the World Boxing Organization. He is also a veteran fighter, 30 years of age, as we said, from Barranquilla, Colombia. Agapito Sanchez, in his last fight, he won by decision over Juan Ramirez in August of 2000, so he has not been terribly active since that time. 10 months out of the ring. We'll see whether that ring rust at 31 has any effect on his performance tonight, but he's getting a second chance at this WBO crown, and we are going to assume that he is ready. From the Dominican Republic and from Colombia, Jorge Pabon Monsalvo, in his last outing, won over 6 rounds against Ivan Iglesias, January of this year.
No, Tim, that really puzzles me. His last fight was a 6-round fight. Now he's fighting for the championship of the world.
Yeah, I can't explain that for you, but he's won 24 in a row after turning pro. Had a 16-month layoff in '99. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the introductions.
Dwayne Ford and Dave Moretti, and when the bell rings, your referee in charge of the action, Kenny Bayless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Junior Featherweight Championship of the World. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue and weighing in at 122 pounds. Professional record, 29 victories, including 24 knockouts with only 1 loss. From Barranquilla, Colombia, here is the WBO #1 ranked junior featherweight in the world, Jorge Pabon Monsalvo. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing purple trimmed with gold and weighing in at 121 pounds. His professional record, 37 victories, including 19 knockouts to his credit. With 7 defeats and a draw, he comes to us from La Victoria, República de Dominica. Here is the WBO #ranked 4 contender in the world, Agapito Sanchez.
Okay, listen, fellas, we know the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution to obey my commands at all times and keep the fight clean at all times. Trunks are a little high here. punch in this area is considered a clean punch. Anything lower is considered illegal. Same thing here. Punches here are good. Punches below are not. Any questions? Any questions? Touch gloves. Good luck. Good luck.
Referee Kenny Bayless with the final instructions for this championship bout. The WBO Junior Featherweight Championship at stake. A vacant crown. Agapito Sanchez, ranked number 4 by the WBO, stands 5'4", came in at 121. He's 31 years old. And Pabon Monsalvo, 5'6", 122 pounds, right at the weight of having to lose a pound. And each of these fighters experienced, age 30 and 31. They have been around. They've got outstanding records with a 29-1 mark for Monsalvo and 32-7-1 for Agapito Sanchez.
Well, Monsalvo had that long layoff, Tim, before he came back. He's only had a couple of fights since then, so I just don't know how the skills will be.
Pabon Monsalvo on now the right of your screen in the blue with red trim. Sanchez in royal purple and gold. Colombia against the Dominican Republic in this battle for the WBO crown at this weight. Both fighters win in that exchange. First round scheduled for 12 over the championship distance. Swinging overhand right, but he missed with it.
He says, I'm not a dirty fighter.
Sanchez so far has been the willing aggressor. Monsalvo looking to counter so far. To go in round one, a low blow warning to Agapito Sanchez, and he gets a lot of those. That's kind of part of his act, and has gotten himself into trouble with fouls and points lost over his career.
I thought that punch was just borderline on Tim. Guess the referee wanted everybody to know that he's in control to start the fight. I guess that's the way you should do it.
Seconds left in round one. Good counter left scored by Sanchez. Closely contested first round. Each fighter a little bit cautious. Now there's a low blow from Monsalvo that draws a warning from Kenny Bayless. Final seconds of round one.
Stop. Look back.
Two skilled professionals, experience showing. Monsalvo 30 years old and Agapito Sanchez 31. Here we are at the corner of Monsalvo from Colombia.
Aquí que la tira, aquí encima que la tira. ¿Le echa, güey? Sí, échale ahí.
Estoy tirando el ya. Y está bajando la mano. Tú vas rápido y combina por dentro, ¿me entiendes? Más de 3 golpes.
Ya.
Oye, estamos bien, muy bien. Coge la defensa. La defensa, manejala.
Let's take a look at this action early in the round. Oh, definitely low blow by Sanchez.
Péndulo.
Saw Kenny Bayless, the referee, coming in to give him the warning. And later he did the same to Monsalvo.
Mete por dentro. Oh, thank you. Ey, permisa aquí. Mete por dentro. Oíste. El protector, ya.
Alvaro Mercado is the trainer from Monsalvo. Francisco Guzman in the corner for Sanchez. Round two scheduled for 12. WBO Junior Featherweight title at stake, 122 pounds. loss came in 1998 against Jorge Otero. 10-round decision loss. Other than that, he is undefeated. 24 KOs in 29 starts. We haven't seen the power as yet. Good counter shot from Sanchez. Caught Monsalvo leading in.
Sanchez left jab has been a scoring punch, Tim. Everything else being equal, that can win in the round.
Yeah, and he's the shorter of the two, a little less reach, but he's been very sharp with it.
Stop. Let him up.
Those left jabs are all point scores.
Monsalvo trying to counter and make those scoring punches, but he hasn't been too effective so far. He hasn't led, and he hasn't made his counter punches effectively score.
Well, Sanchez is feinting very well with that left hand. Keeps changing up. One time he jabs right away. Next time he feints once. Next time twice.
Throwing Monsalvo's timing up. That's a little better there for Monsalvo.
Step back. Come on.
Still has allowed Sanchez to lead the action.
All right, here we go.
Eddie Bayless will break when I tell you. Seconds left. Round two. Sanchez the aggressor. Monsalvo unable to make his counter punches. Balance the scale so far. Final seconds. Round number two. Changed by both punchers to the body. Good round at right side for Sanchez. Agapito Sanchez, number 4 ranked by the WBO. 31-year-old from Santo Domingo.
Este ya está bueno, no le cante y échalo para atrás, empuélo para atrás, que no pelee.
Hey, este está esperando y tú no estás tirando nada. ¿Qué pasa? Suéltale las manos ya.
This is on my break. This is my command.
Dame una toalla a la quebrada. Cuando los vuelvas a parar, que no tira.
Take a look at some of those jabs of Sanchez now. He is the busier fighter with that left jab.
Stop. Let him up.
Missing a lot of punches. He's throwing more.
Getting a lot of counsel on that corner. He had all 3 cornermen involved in telling him what to do. Round number 3.
Again, Sanchez has already thrown 7 left jabs and Monsalvo none.
Well, he landed the last 3 of them. Monsalvo just has been reluctant to lead. Now here he does throw out that jab and uses, but then backs up and allows Sanchez to retake the aggression.
Break. Step back.
Looks like that's what Monsalvo's plan is, Tim. He's not leaving himself wide open at all. He's waiting for Sanchez to punch, and then he throws flurries back. But they're not very effective punches.
Oh, good left hand there at the end of that exchange from Sanchez. Just got a little more spark, a little more willingness to be first. Monsalvo trying to get over the top of that jab, the right hand.
Sanchez is initiating all of the action.
Yeah.
So everything else being equal, in my opinion, I have to give the round to Sanchez. There's a double jab by Sanchez again.
Clean, fellas. That's my command.
And Sanchez also shows a willingness to grab on as soon as Monsalvo starts to become effective there. Now this time Monsalvo just punched his way out of the clinch with a good left hand. A little blood to the corner of the right eye of Sanchez. Low blow from Sanchez, and they're going to have the doctor look at the cut. Margaret Goodman, the doctor, comes up to check out the cut, says it's okay for him to carry on. Nick appeared to come from the only good shot that Monsalvo landed.
Stop.
Now he comes alive a little more in that exchange. As soon as he does, he gets smothered by Sanchez. Final seconds of round 3. Good round for Sanchez. Again, just by being the aggressive leader in the round, he just gets out there and forces the action. Monsalvo hasn't done enough. Whether that was the flurry Gill where he had that left hand, I don't think so. You see one of the low blow warnings, no argument there either, and Kenny Bayless quick to recognize it.
In the clinch.
Two warnings.
No rest.
Meanwhile, Dr. Goodman has been up there to look at the eye. You can see it's right at the end of the eyebrow. Right eye. Too serious at this point.
Not a very dangerous cut at all, Tim.
Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy, Barry Tompkins, Al Bernstein. We're live here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Main event still to come. De La Hoya, Castillejo.
Again, Sanchez started out with 4 snapping left jabs. Monsalvo didn't throw a punch in return.
Finally gets his jab out first and lands it. A good counter right lands. A little more movement from Monsalvo circling as well this round. Counter right scored by Monsalvo. Left to the body, landed. So his timing a little better now on the counter punches.
Good right hand by Monsalvo.
Yeah, led with that one. Now banging into the body of Sanchez. Monsalvo picking up his tempo here in the 4th.
Break! Stop! Okay, watch your head.
Sanchez still holds that initiative, though, Tim. Continues to lead. Makes the fight.
Work out.
Making the fight, but at least in this round, Monsalvo's been more effective counterpunching.
Well, that was earlier in the round.
And to the left, there's a right-hand lead scored by Sanchez, and they both land in that exchange. Under a minute to go in round 4. Sanchez pressing now, forcing Monsalvo over the ropes.
Hold it. Let him up. Keep him up. Look, up.
It's the 3rd warning Bayless has given to Sanchez for low blows. No points taken. Monsalvo along the ropes, and he battles his way off. Sanchez turned this round around. Final seconds of the fourth. Closer round, but I had to score that for Sanchez Gill, even though Monsalvo did better in the early going. Again, as you pointed out, Sanchez was the aggressor nonetheless right from the get-go.
Well, we both have almost similar scorecards. I've given Sanchez every round. You can call the first round even.
Sanchez just relentless, non-stop punching.
Good right hand on the chin in that exchange. Good left hook by Sanchez.
And again, Sanchez scoring the last punch in that exchange after they each missed several shots. So Agapito Sanchez ranked number 4 by the WBO. So far in command of the battle against Jorge Monsalvo. Long way to go. It's scheduled for 12. Sanchez with 19 KOs and 32 victories. Monsalvo has 24 KOs and 29 wins. Hasn't shown the power so far. Monsalvo, Barranquilla, Colombia, in the blue with red. Agapito Sanchez from the Dominican Republic. Easter egg out there.
Good left hook by Sanchez. Starting to find the range, Tim.
Jab of Sanchez, very effective. Finding an opening between the gloves of Monsalvo, even though he has shorter reach.
He's so far the busier fighter.
Scheduled for 12. Sanchez has not let up from the opening bell, and he's taken no rest at all, forcing the issue to go in the fifth.
Break, stop, step back. Work out, break, step, step back. Come on.
This is becoming a boxing lesson now.
Sanchez got the best of that exchange. 30 seconds left.
Becoming a boxing lesson. You see, he feels good in there. Everything's going his way.
Up, bouncing on his toes. Very confident. Completely controlling the tempo of the action. Final seconds of round 5. Now the question will be, can he keep up that pace over 12 if he has to? But Agapito Sanchez, so far, as we see it, in control of this fight through 5 rounds. Sanchez fought for this same title against Marco Antonio Barrera, went the distance against the hard-hitting Barrera, Lost at 12.
¿Estás dejando llevar la iniciativa, hijo? ¿Qué pasa? No.
Corner now, Monsalvo.
Un poquito más cerca y tira de muy bien derecha más cerca.
Agapito Sanchez, we made the point he hasn't had a fight in 10 months. So far, he looks like he's sharp and in shape. He's been in with other top fighters besides Barrero. Went 12 with Freddie Norwood, went 10 with Goody Espada. So he's an experienced guy that's been in tough fights against the very best at his weight. This is his opportunity here to win a title. Agapito Sanchez, the purple and gold. Jorge Pabon Monsalvo from Colombia, blue with red.
Sanchez right now, Tim, is having a good time.
Yeah, he's displaying to his opponent and to the crowd that he does not feel threatened at all by Monsalvo. Has 24 KOs and 29 wins.
Those are the point scorers. There's no reaction really. Right in the nose. Don't even try to punch back. That's been Monsalvo's problem from the opening bell.
He only had one round in which he kind of attempted to take the lead to force the issue. Every other round he's been content to counterpunch, and sometimes effectively and most of the time not.
You can see Sanchez taking more and more chances as his confidence grows.
That was a good example there, that winging right hand over the top, landed on the ear of Monsalvo. There's a good left hook. Left hook back from Monsalvo, landed to the body. Minute to go here in round 6.
Sanchez is showing him everything now. Right hand leads to the body. Looping right hands. Back to the jab.
Seconds to go in round 6.
There's those point scorers again.
Monsalvo took a look to his corner. That's never a good sign. I think maybe he's getting a little frustrated by Sanchez.
There's those point scorers, Tim.
No question. Both landed in that exchange. Sanchez got the best of it. Final seconds of round 6. Overhand right landed. Sanchez trying to take advantage of that. Another strong round for Agapito Sanchez. Let's go up to Barry and Al. Barry?
And still to come, of course, our main event, and that will be the battle for the WBC Super Welterweight Championship. And here's a guy, Al, looking very relaxed right now.
You know what? He's used to these surroundings, and he's used to being in big fights here at the MGM, and he has, I thought, been pretty relaxed this week.
Yeah, in fact, he feels that that's his edge over the champion, Javier Castillejo. Castillejo got here about a half hour ago, and he, too, actually looking very relaxed. He said he was not going to be awed by the moment, and at least right at this point, he does not seem to be.
He says the 15,000 that will be here are no different than the 15,000 that watched me in Spain. That remains to be seen.
Early in the fight, we'll get a pretty good indication as to just how the moment will play for Javier Castillejo. Right now, let's take you back ringside where we got a little boxing lesson being administered. Tim?
Right, Barry. I think that's certainly Gil's educated view that Agapito Sanchez is just dominating Monsalvo. Gil, use the expression giving the boxing lesson. Here's a guy who's only lost one fight in Monsalvo, but so far he looks totally ineffective, and Sanchez looks like a superstar.
Well, he hasn't been in with the kind of opposition that Sanchez has been in with.
That's for sure.
Completely different league.
So Agapito Sanchez, who tried for this title, going 12 against Marco Antonio Barrera, the then champion. Unable to win that fight, gets a second chance, and right now, in our view, he's in control. Round 7 scheduled for 12. Still bouncing on his toes, and the question about his durability and stamina over 12, having been out of action for 10 months, there's just no evidence that he's not in super shape.
You see the strategies he's using, Tim. He feints with that left hand one time. Next time he lets it shoot out right away. And they throw a looping right hand. He's got this his opponent, I should say, just completely.
Whoa! Down goes Jorge Pabon Monsalvo. Two-punch combination, and he is still very wobbly. Sanchez finding an opening.
Come to me.
Monsalvo looking very unsteady, and Kenny Bayless, now he's very reluctant. He's going to stop it. It's all over. Monsalvo, and you can see now as he's looking right at us, looks very dazed. And Kenny Bayless, seeing that, just said, this is where a fighter can get hurt. That's enough for him. So in round 7, the number 4 ranked Agapito Sanchez has won the WBO Junior Featherweight Championship. 7th round stoppage of Jorge Pabon Monsalvo from Colombia. There's a happy veteran, 31 years old, turned pro back in November of '89. Been in there with some tough guys, couldn't beat them, the likes of Barrera, Norwood, Espada. But when he got his chance again here to win this crown, he was in command from the beginning. Against the number 1 ranked Jorge Pabon Monsalvo, you can see that this young man from Colombia is still a little wobbly. Another look at the knockdown. Over the top, that right hand.
Right on the button, Tim. Right on the button.
Set up with the left. He'd been so busy with an effective left jab. Got the opening he wanted. Kenny Bayless looks in his eyes. And you can see even here, even though he was protesting, he was very dazed. So a good call by Kenny Bayless, who's an outstanding young referee, and he made a good judgment call there in our view. Agapito Sanchez with a 7th round knockout as the WBO, World Boxing Organization, Junior Featherweight Champion. Remember, we've got another Junior Featherweight title fight, the IBF version, featuring the exciting South African boxer, somebody you're really going to enjoy watching, Lelo Ledwaba. He'll defend against Manny Pacquiao from the Philippines. That'll be our next fight here from the Grand Garden at the MGM. There's a very happy Agapito Sanchez. Finally gets his title.
Being a professional all those years.
Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official word.
Fighting out of the red corner. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, the winner by knockout victory. He is now the WBO Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Jorge Monsalvo Pabon.
Gil, finish your thought about here's a guy that's been trying for a long time.
Tim, a guy that stays at it that long, fights all these tough guys. He really deserves to have that title, and he showed it tonight. He was a champion tonight, no question about it.
Excellent performance by the pride of the Dominican Republic, Santo Domingo. He is genuinely excited. That's a great thing to see. All his efforts, all the years, paying off in a world championship.
128.
The official time is 1:28, round 7. 1:28, round 7.
Michael Buffer correcting the time, 1:28 of the 7th round. The knockout stoppage for Agapito Sanchez. Kenny Bayless not allowing Monsalvo to continue, and he was a beaten fighter, rocked by that tremendous right hand. But up to that point, as we had been saying, had really not been able to compete with Sanchez, who forced the issue. He was the first off all of the time from the opening bell and landed plenty of scoring punches that had him well ahead on our cards.